Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to episode 14 of Extreme Evocast, an all-purpose Pokemon podcast where we talk about news, trivia, and everything related to Pokemon. Today on the agenda, we have some news, of course. There was the new Direct that got released recently that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet. That happened the day after last episode was released, which always happens. And then we have that to talk about, and then we have some more. Today's quote unquote topic is just going to be the just more stuff about Unova and Pokemon Go. I figured because last episode was more of like a silly episode because of it was with my friends, and we had a good time. Now I can talk about it a little bit more seriously. Without having people around. Not that it was not that it was bad. I'm just saying it had less of a personal touch because of the fact that my friends were there. But we do have it to talk about today, and I would like to say I didn't get to talk about this last episode because I was in my friend's dorm. But I am in college now. I think I did talk about it a little bit, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about it right now. I am in my friend's dorm right now, or not in my friend's dorm. I am in my own dorm right now in college. I am back into college, and so it's a different area. It's a different place. Things might sound a little different. Things might be a little bit different. In terms of the spacious area, so my sound, it might sound a little bit different. You might hear a little bit more background noise or a little bit less background noise. I'm not 100% sure yet. I haven't really compared the two, but I'm just letting you know that that is a thing that is happening. So expect a little bit of change, but that's not really going to change anything with the production of the podcast or anything like that. It's going to be the same. It's just that I'm in a new area and things are a little bit different. So we do have some things to talk about today. First, I'm just going to hop right into our first segment of the day, which is Reviewity Day. And finally, I can actually talk about things with Pokemon Go personally. Like I said last episode, I'm finally back in college. I have a chance to actually play Pokemon Go. I have a chance to finally actually find Pokemon and spin Pokestops and do things instead of just, being in the middle of gosh darn nowhere and not having anything to do with Pokemon Go. So, oops, sorry about that. I dropped my phone. I am going to open Pokemon Go right now just because we are going over what I found in Community Day, the community that just happened this weekend, and it was the Turtwig Community Day. The Turtwig Community Day, you could find Turtwigs around. There was 3 times, I believe, Stardust. The Turtwigs that you caught have Frenzy Plant? Yeah, Frenzy Plant. I'm looking at it right now. I only got 1 shiny Turtwig, which I evolved into a Torterra, which is cool. I like Torterra. Torterra's cool. I really, really like Torterra. One of my favorite starters, certainly. Its shiny's okay. We'll talk about that when we get to Torterra's, random Pokemon of the week. But it's cool. It looks cool. It's really sad because it's a very, very low CP. The Turtwig I found is only 80 CP, and when I fully evolved it into a Torterra, it's only 355 CP. So it's not really a Torterra that I'm going to be using all that much. Because it's not very good, because it's 400 CP, not even. But it's cool to have. I like collecting things in Pokemon Go more than I do trying to get Pokemon that are good for battling. I don't really care about EVs or anything, which is surprising, because normally I do care about competitiveness in games, in Pokemon games specifically. But for Pokemon Go, I like the collection aspect. I'm trying to collect every Pokemon, get every Pokemon for the Pokedex, all that kind of stuff. I went out this weekend with my friend on Sunday to film my short film. Or not short, yeah, my short film. It's an experimental film. It's a short film. It was really short. It was only 3 minutes long. But it was a short film for one of my classes this semester. And we were out all day, filming and stuff. And we met up actually about 11 o'clock when the community day actually happened. So we had a chance to catch a lot of Pokemon. Immediately there was we were surrounded by Turtwig, and both of us, both me and her, found a shiny Turtwig each. So yeah, I hope that all of you had a good Reviewity Day. I hope you all had a good community day, a Turtwig community day. I believe it's the last one. It's the last of the. It's not the last of the Sinnoh starters. It's the first of the Sinnoh starters. My mistake. It's we don't have any more Hoenn starters, but the Sinnoh starters are next. Presumably. Usually the water one is last, so probably Tepig will be, Tepig, what am I talking about? Chimchar. I have Gen 5 on the mind. Chimchar will be next. And then Piplup, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I'm almost certain that it's that Chimchar is next. So we have some more news to talk about before we get into the beef of today's episode, which is there's actually quite a lot of news today. So getting a few of the smaller ones out of the way before we talk about the big stuff. There are new shiny, and I don't mean shiny like shiny Pokemon, but shiny shiny cards are coming to TCG Hidden Fates. There is a shiny Charizard GX card. It's like a holographic. It looks very good. I'm looking at it right now. You can find it on the Pokemon Twitter. Which I think it looks really cool. I mean, I love shiny Charizard. It's black. Who doesn't like shiny Charizard? But there's a shiny Charizard GX. There is a holographic Guzma support card, which it looks really, really cool. I really like the art style for this one. There is a Jesse and James supporter, which is also holographic. And there is something I really, really like. As we know, there are the supporter Pokemon, which are two Pokemon together. It's sort of the gimmick for the newest card pack. But this time, there is Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno. There's 3 of them. I'm not sure if that's the first time this has happened, but it's the first time that I am aware of it happening. So there is 3 Pokemon together. They have 300 HP altogether, which is insane. And they have an attack called Trinity Burn, which is cool. Really, really cool. So there is the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno GX supporter card, or not supporter card. It's not a supporter. It's just a card, but it's cool. I like it. That's pretty much the only Pokemon trading card game news we have for today. Okay. So I'm looking at it right now. There is a Pikachu Funko Pop figure coming. And I'm a fan of this because I have the Bulbasaur one, and I would like to collect it. I haven't had a chance to get a Charmander one yet. I know Charmander was being released, but I haven't had a chance to get it yet. But there is a Pikachu one coming, and you guys know how much I love Pikachu. I have right next to me. I have a little shrine dedicated to Pikachu. There's a Pikachu keychain, there's a Pikachu amiibo, and I have a Pikachu poster, which is like the female Pikachu on a pink background, just like right next to me. I'm touching it right now. It's my quote unquote little Pikachu shrine that I have next to my recording setup. And also I main Pikachu in Smash Ultimate. I bought a Pikachu controller recently. Yeah, I love Pikachu. Who doesn't love Pikachu? Who's a Pokemon fan and doesn't like Pikachu? I love Pikachu. Pikachu Funko Pop. I'm very excited about this. Really, really, really excited. Speaking of Pikachu, Detective Pikachu is now out for release in the UK, Europe, and also pretty much everywhere else. Actually, this is kind of an old news article from Cerebi, but Detective Pikachu is available in DVD, Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray, 4K Ultra HD, and 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray together, I guess. But there's also the Blu-ray and Detective Pikachu Plus bundle. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. This is coming from Cerebi. Again, thank you, Cerebi. I thank Cerebi every single time. I take stuff off Cerebi. I don't want to discredit Cerebi. Most of my news comes from Cerebi. Some of it comes from the Pokemon Twitter. and the Pokemon Go Twitter. Most of it comes from Cerebi, though, which I'm thankful for. Thank you to Cerebi for, I don't necessarily like to copy Cerebi stuff, but I do like to, I just review, I talk about the news that has been coming out. It's kind of hard not to, copy news, because like news is news. There's information about the news and there's nothing else to it. But yeah, I try to get my own little spin on it. Next in the news, speaking of news, there is a Pumpkaboo figure, which is it's considered a Funko, but it's not. It's not like a Funko Pop. It's just like a. It's coming to the Pokemon Center, and it's a Pumpkaboo figure. There's Pikachu in the little pile of leaves. It's fall, Halloween, all that stuff. It's really cute. Go check it out. It's called the Pokemon Twitter says Pumpkaboo We See You, which is adorable. You can check it out on the Pokemon Twitter or on Cerebi or whatever. Just look up like Pumpkaboo Funko, and it'll probably appear. I know I don't normally talk about the Pokemon anime, but if you haven't heard, Ash Ketchum, I don't know why I've distinguished the fact that his last name is Ketchum. Everybody knows who Ash Ketchum is. Has won the Pokemon League for the first time. No spoilers. Sorry about the spoiler. I'm sure you've heard of it already. If not, I'm sorry. But Ash Ketchum has won the Alola Pokemon League for the first time. In the entire history of the Pokemon anime, Ash has never won in a Pokemon League. And he finally did, and I'm happy for him. I haven't watched it. I don't watch the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime. I should. I want to, but I just don't. But yeah, I figured it would be worth mentioning because it's a big thing. I mean, Ash, for the first time, he won the Pokemon League. That's insane. I'm happy about that. I'm happy for him. So the last of the kind of miscellaneous news, this is very slight. This isn't really something that we could. It's super worth talking about. It is just to know that it is Electric Month. According to the Pokemon Twitter, it is Electric Month. To appreciate Electric type Pokemon. I'm just happy because they put a GIF of Ampharos in the post, and I really like Ampharos, so I wanted to mention it just because it's Electric Week. So give some love to your favorite Electric type Pokemon. And now, the time has come. There is some new stuff from the Direct. I suppose this could be called Let's Talk Galar part 4? I'll do Let's Talk Galar part 4. I think there's enough. There's new Pokemon. There's new stuff to talk about. It's not much. It was a pretty small Direct. It wasn't a Pokemon Direct. It was just kind of nuzzled into a Nintendo Direct. But I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth titling the episode about. So we will talk a little bit about Unova and Pokemon Go a little bit later. But this is going to be the main focus of today's episode. And just as a warning, this episode might be a little bit shorter than most. Just because there's not really much to talk about. I could talk about the new Pokemon for a while, but I'd like to keep it maybe short this time, just because I got a lot going on and I don't really have a lot of time. But I'll talk about it as much as I can. So let's just start off with a new Pokemon, I suppose. That's what I have here in my list, in my notes. So there is. We'll talk about Polteageist first. There's Polteageist, which is a Ghost-type Pokemon, just a Ghost-type Pokemon. Honestly, I expected this thing to be Ghost Fairy, because it's in a teapot. That's at least what I expected. But Polteageist is the black tea Pokemon. It is 8 inches tall, 0.9 pounds, and it has the ability Weak Armor, which is interesting. It makes sense that it has Weak Armor, but I really like this Pokemon. I think it's actually kind of cool thinking back on it that it's a pure Ghost type. I just think that Ghost Fairy would have been an even cooler type. If you haven't seen Polteageist is a little purple ghost inside of a teapot. And it says, Polteageist's body is made from black tea and is said to have a very distinct aroma and flavor. It will only allow its trainer to sample its tea. However, drinking too much can lead to indigestion or an upset stomach, so be careful. I like how it's not like, it doesn't have like an effect, like a spooky curse. It's just like, you might just get indigestion. Many Poltergeists make their homes inside hotels and restaurants, disguising themselves and hiding amongst the tableware. They can pour their power into leftover tea and create even more of their kind, so they're often treated as pests. Oh, Interesting. So they reproduce by pouring themselves into more tea. I like it. I like Polteageist. Next is Cramorant, who is a flying water type Pokemon, and it is it is the Gulp Pokemon. It is 2/7 and it weighs 39.7 pounds. It has the ability Gulp Missile, and it says it uses its ability to pick up a Pokemon while using Surf or Dive, and then activates its gulping form. When damaged in this form, it will spit out what's in its mouth. When it comes to food, it will try to swallow anything it can fit in its mouth. Sometimes, it will swallow things that aren't intended prey, spitting them out in a hurry once it realizes its mistake. Cramorant can be forgetful, but it will never forget a trainer it grows to crust. However, it seems that even trainers will face fierce attacks from their Cramorant if they try to steal its food. Oof. So, Cramorant's cool. I really like Cramorant. I like that it's a waterfly. It's just it's a generic water flying Pokemon like Pelipper or Swanna, but it has a gimmick. I like it. It seems like it's probably going to be the new, quote unquote, new Pelipper. Probably maybe bulky. I'm not sure. It seems like it might be pretty bulky. Just a water flying type. Water flying type, of course, are a pretty big staple in competitive Pokemon. They're super effective to electric. So they're pretty weak sometimes, but most of them have some pretty good setups and stuff. But we're gonna go over Cramorant's new ability, which is Gulp Missile, as I said before, and it says when in its gulping form, it fires its catch at an enemy. Yeah, it's just that. Gulp Missile means that when it uses Surf or Dive, it will catch a fish in its mouth, and then anytime it gets hurt, it will shoot that food back at the Pokemon, at its attacker. I'm not sure how much damage it does or how good it is, but yeah, that's essentially all it is. I would momentarily like to talk about the fact that there's a leaked Pokemon? ? I didn't hear about this until I was doing my research for the episode, so like half an hour ago, and it seems like there's a it's revealed as a glitch on the official sites of Pokemon with partial information. And it said, and there was a small little bit of information that came from it. It seems like a jumble of a sentence. It's like it seems like a cut off sentence. It just says, "Only that have survived many battles can attain this. When this Pokemon ERs, when this Pokemon's ERs, it will retire from combat." So there's a small pixel sprite of a new Pokemon, and I don't even know. It seems to be holding a sword. Maybe it almost looks like a Cubone or a Marowak, but it's holding a sword. Go to Cerebi and look at the new Pokemon page for Sword and Shield, and you can see what I'm talking about. It's weird. It's interesting. I don't really know what it is or where it came from. It's a fighting type Pokemon, and it has the ability Steadfast, is all we know. And I don't know. It's interesting. That we don't really have any more information, so I can't really talk about it all that much. But I think it's cool looking. I suppose I don't really know anything about it, so I just don't know. And there is it says that this is a new Pokemon, but I kind of doubt that this is actually a Pokemon and just like an aesthetic choice. But there's the fish Pokemon that Cramorant shoots out in its gulping form. It just looks like a fish. It does have some good. It has like some design stuff, so it might be a new Pokemon. Who knows? We'll see. I suppose. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about the fact that there's new customization for trainers in Pokemon Sword and Shield, something we also learned about from the Direct. I'm very excited about that because I always loved the customization in X and Y and Sun and Moon, and I didn't have any doubts that they wouldn't bring it back. I didn't have any doubts that they would bring it back. And I'm not surprised. Oh, excuse me. I'm not surprised that they brought it back, but I'm really happy that they did. And it seems like there's a lot more customization. So it seems like every game they're just adding more and more customization, which I am a huge fan of. I love making my own trainers. I love doing that kind of stuff. It makes me very happy. And I'm excited to see what kind of stuff they have for hairstyles, clothes, accessories, all that stuff that we saw. I'm super, super excited about everything that we're going to see. It sounds really, really cool. So let's talk about Alcremie for a moment. So Alcremie got new information. Not new information, new forms revealed that in the new direct, it was revealed that Alcremie can have multiple flavors, quote unquote, and multiple different forms that it can be found in. If I'm looking at the page right now, it says in September's Nintendo Direct, it was revealed that Alcremie can get multiple different appearances, changing its color as well as its fruit decorations. Over 20 variants have been cataloged, and their flavors they are called flavors with only 2 names known: vanilla flavor and matcha flavor. So I'm gonna go through them really quick. It seems like they all have the same. There's just like a list of fruit accessories that they have. It seems like there's like raspberries, blueberries, flowers, like clovers, and that seems to be it. But there's a bunch of different colors that can be found. There's like a green. There's a green that's tipped with pink. There's like a creamy color. There's a yellow color that's tipped with white. There's a pink. There's a green. There's a light yellow, and there is a darker yellow with white tips, it seems. That's all I can really see. This is coming from Cerebi, which is really cool and really interesting. I like I really like I like how Alcremie can be found in different forms. It makes sense, and I'm really happy that there's different quote unquote customizations with Alcremie. It's probably going to have something to do with the way that Vivillon worked in X and Y, where maybe where it's found, because on the Pokemon Twitter, the Pokemon Twitter revealed a bunch of Alcremies that were found from different that were reblogged or retweeted from different accounts of Pokemon, and they were all from like the Pokemon Japanese website, or the Twitter, Pokemon UK, Pokemon France, Pokemon Italy, Pokemon Germany, Pokemon Spain, and that's it so far. That's all we know. Those are all the Alcremie ones that we have pictures of that are coming from certain areas. So it seems like they're themed around maybe cakes from different areas, which is cool. I like that. I like the thought that, kind of like the Vivillon, where it's found in different patterns based on where it's found, that the Alcremie can be found in different things based on where it's found, or different forms based on where it's found, but also maybe there's a little bit of Easter eggs with the certain cakes that they represent. Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe they're randomized. We don't really know too much. That's all we know, is that the Pokemon... because it said, like, specifically, like, over in the United Kingdom, Pokemon News UK discovered this Alcremie, and it's like a picture of Alcremie, and then it's like, this Alcremie is found by Pokemon France. This one was found by Pokemon Italia. This one's found by Pokemon Germany. You know, so it's like, it seems like that the different Alcremie are being found in different countries, which I think is really cool, and I'm very excited about that. So there is a small thing that I like to talk about, which is called the YCOM. That was shown in the Direct. So it seems like the YCOM is going to be the replacement for the PSS. I don't remember what the PSS stands for. I just remember it being called the PSS. And it seems like you can this is the kind of thing where you can, do trades, do battles, do raid battles. I'm gonna read it directly off of Cerebi just because it's easier for me. It says, the YCOM is a successor to the PSS and is the area for connection to other players. This works through local wireless or through the internet. The YCOM can be accessed at any time by pressing the Y button. I didn't expect that. This allows you to get into a feed with all connected players. Here you can organize trades, local battles, and max trade battles. On the field, you can have YCOM where notifications will pop up. This shows you if your friends are wanting to battle, trade, or do a max trade battle, and even if shown if they caught a Pokemon. In addition to this, when a player is connected to the YCOM, you can encounter the players in the wild area. When they're there, they will often give you items. So it seems like they're kind of taking the Festival Plaza and the PSS and turning it into one thing. So like seeing the trainers and getting items from them, I think that's cool. You can just find the trainers walking around. I think that's awesome. That's like the closest thing we're going to get to an online MMORPG Pokemon game. Hopefully not, but maybe. I think it's cool. But last but not least, it says, in Generation 6 and 7, there was a feature called Wonder Trade, and it makes a return here as Surprise Trade. Surprise Trade lets you put a Pokemon in your box flagged as willing to trade and will automatically send the Pokemon out when you're playing the game and will inform you later if there is a trade. Okay, so in Wonder Trade, instead of just like putting out a Pokemon for Wonder Trade, you can just set Pokemon to be traded, and then as you're playing the game, they'll just be traded and eventually come back to you. That's really cool. I like that actually. I like that a lot it's different from Wonder Trade, and I'm excited to use that feature. Actually, I'm super excited. That sounds really, really cool. I'm not gonna lie. So last but not least, for our journey through the new information that we found in the Pokemon Direct that just happened, is Pokemon Camp. Pokemon Camp is interesting because it is the replacement to. It's a replacement to Pokemon Amie and Pokemon Refresh that we know of. And I'm going to read through this Araby article. I think it's really cool so far that we've seen. It says, Pokemon Camp is the spiritual successor to Pokemon Refresh and Pokemon Amie. Here, you can make camp anywhere in the game and play with your Pokemon. Unlike the previous games, you can have all 6 Pokemon out at once. I didn't know that. That's really cool. While they're out, they will interact with each other, and you can play with them using various bouncy balls or Poke Toys. So, it's like Pokemon Amie, but you can have all 6 of them out at the same time, and they interact with each other. I think that's a vast improvement from Pokemon Amie and Pokemon Refresh. I'm really excited to see that. That sounds really, really fun. Seriously, that sounds awesome. I'm really excited about this. And there's curry. In Galar, you'll be able to collect a myriad of different ingredients. These can be used in your creation of curry, a dish well loved in Galar. By using the ingredients, you can make curry, fan the flames, and then test it. Based on the ingredients you use, your Pokemon will get various boosts. These include friendship increase, healing, boosting experience. There are over 100 curry to create in the game, and it's stored in the curry decks. We will provide full details at launch. There's 100 different things that you can make, 100 different curries that you can create. I think that's awesome. And continuing on the last little bit, when in the wild area, you'll often find other players' Pokemon camps. These will appear when you've connected to other players online or locally. There, you can join their camp with one of your Pokemon or play with the Pokemon there, as well as cook. So in Pokemon in the wild area, you can just find other people's camps and other people's Pokemon sitting around. That's so cool. Are you kidding me? That's really cool. I'm super excited about this. Are you kidding me? I didn't know that. I didn't get that from the Direct. That sounds really, really cool. Wow. I'm super excited about all this. Pokemon Camp, that sounds really, really fun. But yeah, those are the things about Pokemon Camp, and I think that's going to wrap up the news that we have for today. Or not the news. Yeah, I guess the news. The new stuff about Sword and Shield. There was not that much, but I think there's enough to make it a Let's Talk Galar Part 4. Maybe it'll be like a half part, but that's not... that we don't need to make things too complicated. So there's new stuff coming to Sword and Shield. We hope that we can get some new information soon. I'm very, very excited to see what they have in store for us next. But that transition is going to bring us into our first segment of the day, second segment of the day, first of our usual segments of the day, which is Random Pokemon of the Week. This week's Random Pokemon of the Week, or this episode's Random Pokemon of the Week, is Baltoy. Baltoy, before I even talk about Baltoy, I just want to say Baltoy has always been one of my favorite Pokemon, and I don't know why. It's cool. It used to be one of my favorites. I think it's because the reason why Baltoy is my favorite is because in Pokemon XD, I believe, I might be botching this, in Pokemon XD, when I played with my cousin when I was a small child, you could find Baltoy as one of the shadow Pokemon that you can find, and we used it, like, the way that we played Pokemon XD together is we would essentially, because it's like you could have double battles. Essentially, it was like I would control one Pokemon and he would control the other Pokemon, and it was like, so we were kind of working together. And Baltoy was one of the Pokemon that I loved using on my team. I really, really like Baltoy because it's a cool Pokemon. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, Baltoy has a strong place in my heart, and I think that's going to come in handy when doing this random Pokemon of the week because I really, really enjoy Baltoy. I think it's a cute Pokemon. I think it's cool. I think it's really interesting, and I'm excited to see some information about it. So speaking of, Baltoy is number 343. It is a ground psychic Pokemon introduced in Generation 3. It evolves into Claydol at level 36. And its Japanese name is Yaijalon. Baltoy has the ability Levitate. It is genderless. It's a catch rate of 255. It is in the mineral egg group. It is 1 foot 8 inches, which is 0.5 meters, and 47.4 pounds, which is 21.5 kilograms. Baltoy is cool. I really like Baltoy. Let's go down to some of the trivia about Baltoy. Baltoy, no other Pokemon have the same type combination as Baltoy in its evolution. That's cool. I actually didn't know that. But there's no other ground psychic type Pokemon. So something a little unique about this very forgettable Pokemon. Despite the fact that Baltoy is a genderless Pokemon, it is male in Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure. Another great game. I will talk an entire episode about Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventure and Pokepark 2. I'll probably replay them at some point and talk about them because I love that game. I love those games. We can talk about that another time, but just know I adore those games, and I will certainly be talking about them in another episode because, gosh darn, great games. And Baltoy has the lowest base attack of all ground-type Pokemon. That's sad. I mean, it makes sense because it's a psychic type, and it has, it has high special attack. But it's sad. I mean, it's not a great Pokemon, but, for what it's worth, I like Claydol. We can talk about some of the information about spin-off games, which is something that I decided that we could do. That we could do in the last episode with my friends. So Baltoy does have some phrases in Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team, and at more than half HP, he says balance. Balance is an important thing. At 26% to 50% HP, he says, my HP is about halfway down. Okay. And from less than a quarter, he says, I can't take this. I can't maintain balance anymore. And at level up, he says, there, I leveled up. My balance is in tip-top form too. So silly. I really like the phrases from Red and Blue. I like how the Pokemon will say different things based on what you talk about. What health they're at and all that stuff. I think it's cute. I like seeing people give Pokemon, personalities, and I think that Red Rescue Team and just Mystery Dungeon in general does like a great thing with that. And I will be sure to read all of the phrases from now on, if they're applicable, if they're from Red Rescue Team and Blue Rescue Team, because it's the only game that has those. Time, Darkness, and Sky don't do that, and I don't think any of the other ones in the future may do those types of unique phrases for the Pokemon, which is sad. I think it's really nice. So Baltoy's shiny form has gone through a lot of changes actually. In Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, it was pretty different. Instead of being the normal tan and red, it was a little bit more of like a vibrant tan, like a little bit more of a yellow, paired with a it looks like green. I think it's green. I can't tell. It's either green or like gold. For like the red markings on Baltoy. But and then in Diamond and Pearl, it's pretty much the same thing. Actually, Diamond, Pearl, and Black and White, it's pretty much the same thing, except for the fact that the yellow is much more vibrant than in the normal form. And then, of course, in the 3D games, they kind of botched a little bit. The vibrancy of it is a little bit less so, and I mean the color is definitely green. It looks like green. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like it's hard to tell in the background, which I think isn't that great for a shiny if you can't even tell what color the Pokemon is. But a little less vibrant, but it's a little bit lighter. It's almost like the tan is lighter instead of being more yellowy and more vibrant than the original, which is nice. I'm gonna say 4 out of 10. It's not very good. it looks okay. It's no, I'm gonna say 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. Not very good. Pretty bad. Pretty low tier. Pretty low tier shiny. It's unfortunate. So we're gonna go into the oh, excuse me for yawning so much. We're gonna go into the Smogon page for Baltoy, as we do with every random Pokemon of the week. And Baltoy, being a first stage Pokemon, is in the Little Cup. Little Cup, if you don't know, is the tier for Pokemon Showdown, at least in the Smogon like competitive Pokemon release. Not release. The rule set pretty much is a tier for Pokemon that are unevolved. Mainly first stages. And Baltoy is that. So Baltoy only has Levitate for his ability. He's in the Little Cup tier, and his HP is 40. His attack and special attack are both 40. I was wrong. Apparently they have the same attack and special attack. I thought that their special attack would be much higher because it's a psychic type, but I guess not. They have the same. What is Claydol's attack and special attack? They're also the same, huh? Okay, that's sad. Its defense is 55, its speed is also 55, and its special defense is 70. So it seems to be more of a tank because its defense and its special defense are the highest. Same with Claydol. Special defense, Claydol's special defense is super high. And this is written by Mega Poke Battlers. It says, thanks to Baltoy's typing and Levitate, it resists Stealth Rock and is immune to other entry hazards, allowing it to remove said hazards fairly easy. However, Baltoy's defensive typing does it more harm than good, leaving it weak to several common attacking types such as the omnipresent knockoff. Its weak offensive stats and unhelpful speed tier prevent it from posing a serious threat, and it is outclassed by Drillbur and Kabuto as a hazard settler and remover. That's sad. So the biggest rule set for Baltoy is a rapid spin because it gets rid of the entry hazards, like it said. And its moves are Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, Earth Power, and Psychic for some stab damage. Its item is Berry Juice, which of course is very helpful in Little Cup because it fully restores a Pokemon's health most of the time, because Berry Juice restores 20 HP, and there's not that many level 5 Pokemon that have more than 20 HP, or close to it at least. More of the fragile Pokemon get that's all their health back. And ability Levitate, nature is Bold, which is plus defense and minus attack. Level is 5, and 36 HP EVs, 236 defense EVs, 36 special attack EVs, and 196 special defense EVs. There's a very small little description on the bottom, and I'm going to read it. Normally I don't go super in depth on the description of the Pokemon, but there's not that much, and I feel like reading it. So it says, the goal of this set is to come in on passive Pokemon and spin away any entry hazards that might be on the field while also setting up its own. However, Baltoy itself is incredibly passive and has a poor matchup against common hazard setters like Poniard and common hazard removers such as Snivy and Vullaby. Drillbur and Staryu are both much better choices for a rapid spinner due to their better offensive capabilities and lack of dark type weakness. So, it's pretty bad. Case in point, It's a pretty bad Pokemon, but it's cute. I have a soft spot for it. You may not, but I quite like it. Yeah, so that's Baltoy. So we're going to go a little bit, like I said, this episode's going to be a little bit shorter than normal. We're going to go a little bit into the Generation 5 in Pokemon Go so far. I kind of want to do like a beforehand review, which is what we did last episode, and then I want to do like in the middle, and then at the end, I kind of want to do like a... so this is it, that happened. And I want to do this for every upcoming generation in Pokemon Go. So, Gen 5. The Unova region has been released. I actually totally forgot that it was being released yesterday, or 2 days ago, I mean. 2 days ago now. It is actually Wednesday for me because I'm recording this pretty late at night. But the 16th, on Monday, it came out. Unova came out in Pokemon Go then. That was on... that was Monday. I'm mixing up my days because it's so late at night. But yeah, it was Monday, which it came out, so only 2 days ago. As I'm recording, or a day ago, really, as I'm recording this episode. But I have had a chance to catch a few Pokemon. Let me open up my Pokedex and see what Pokemon I have actually caught. I've seen quite a lot of them around. Obviously, like on the first day when I was in class, they were just filled to the brim with, like, the nearby Pokemon were just filled to the brim with Unova Pokemon. So you're gonna hear some Pokemon Go sounds. I have caught so far a few Lillipups, enough Lillipups to evolve one of my Lillipups into a Herdier, and enough Patrat or Patrat. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it. Patrat, Patrat. Who cares? I say Patrat. Enough Patrats to evolve it into a Watchog, which is nice. I like Watchog. It's cool. And I also caught a P-Dove and a Purloin. Some of you guys who are super adamant about playing Pokemon Go might have already gotten a Stoutland or a Unpheasant or a Leopard. I couldn't remember the name of Purloin's evolution. Leopard. I haven't. Or gotten any other Pokemon. I haven't gotten any of the starters yet. I know that they've been appearing because one of my friends got it. But I haven't seen any of them yet. I hope to soon because I really want to catch some of the starters. Obviously, I want to catch all the starters. If worse comes to worse and I don't catch it, there'll be community days for them eventually. So I'm not too worried about it. But it's going cool so far. I like it. I like how this generation's going so far. I always like how they started kind of slow, introducing them one by one. In waves almost, where they introduce. They introduce like the first few Pokemon, maybe a few extras, maybe a few secret ones, and then they go back and they add, some of the later ones. They add maybe some legendaries in the raids, and then they eventually add all of them. They kind of did the same thing with Sinnoh, where they added like the first few, and then they added some later Pokemon, and then it took them a little while to introduce like Lillieceon, Rhyperior, some of the later ones. Some of like the more obscure evolutions for Sinnoh, and also some of the legendaries and stuff. I assume that we'll probably be getting a research task or special research thing for the mythical in Generation 4, which is Manaphy, Shaman, maybe. I don't know, probably Manaphy. I would guess. Maybe they'll do a special one where you get Manaphy and Fione. That'd be cool. Because I still haven't gotten the Jirachi one done yet, but I did do the Mew and the Celebi one, so that'd be cool. They still have a lot of Sinnoh Pokemon to dish out. There's Darkrai, Cresselia. Cresselia has already been it. I don't think Darkrai has been available yet. There's Arceus. I don't know how they're going to do Arceus. There's Meloetta. There's not Meloetta. Meloetta's in Gen 5. What am I thinking? There's Heatran. There's Regigigas. Not really sure how they're going to do any of those Pokemon. I assume they're probably going to do some of the Regis, or they did the Regis in the research breakthrough. Maybe they'll also do Regigigas in research breakthrough. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Gen 5. I'm excited to see what they do with Gen 5. I'm excited to see these new Pokemon appear. I love Gen 5. I'm excited to see them do, I assume, Reshiram, Zekrom, and Kyurem raids. Genesect raids, maybe. I'm trying to think of the Pokemon off the top of my head. They'll probably do the special research tasks for the Musketeers, Virizion, Terrakion, and Cobalion, and also probably for Thundurus, Landorus, and Tornadus. And come to think of it, and they'll probably do. I'm thinking Keldeo will probably be a raid. Genesect will probably be a raid. Meloetta will probably be the mythical. Oh no, you know what? They'll definitely do Victini. Maybe. It could either be Meloetta or Victini. Meloetta is less of a mythical Pokemon, I would say. I would say Meloetta is kind of a legendary on their own. But I think they'll definitely do Victini for the mythical. Victini is the mythical of Generation 5. I would be surprised if they didn't do the special research task for Victini. And they chose Meloetta. But Meloetta might, maybe they'll do a special one for Meloetta, considering Gen 5 kind of has two quote-unquote mythical Pokemon. Same with Gen 4. Gen 4 has, Shaman is considered a mythical. It's more of a legendary than a mythical. I think Jirachi is the mythical. Small psychic-type mythical Pokemon. Are all the mythical Pokemon psychic-type? Muse is psychic type. Celebi is psychic. Jirachi is psychic. Victini is psychic. Huh. I guess they are, huh? All of the small mythical Pokemon are all psychic type. I didn't know that. Manaphy. Manaphy not really. Actually, is Manaphy psychic? I don't think Manaphy's psychic. I'm gonna look this up. Manaphy is not. Manaphy's just water. It is a mythical Pokemon. What is considered a mythical Pokemon, actually? Meloetta is considered mythical. So is Darkrai and Shaman. And Arceus? Arceus is a mythical? I guess so. Maybe, I don't know. They could either do it for Manaphy and Fion or Shaman. Probably Manaphy and Fion, if I had to guess. And for Gen 5, Keldeo is considered a mythical. But I think it'll either be Victini, and if not Victini, which would be very surprising, I think that it would be Meloetta. Gen 6, maybe we can look into the future a little bit and look into Gen 6. Probably Hoopa. Maybe Diancie. Either Hoopa or Diancie. There's only 3. Diancie, Hoopa, and Volcanion. And then for Gen 7, probably Marshadow. Or Magearna. I doubt it'll be Zeraora, but I think that I think Marshadow has the biggest chance, and Magearna has a pretty good chance too. Magearna's kind of, what is the deal with Magearna? I don't know. Well, we can talk about Magearna another day. I'm getting way off topic. So yeah, Generation 5 in Pokemon Go. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see the new Pokemon coming. I'm excited to see how they go about adding certain Pokemon. We've seen some interesting things. We got Latios and Latios from raids, and also the research breakthroughs. We got a special research task for Jirachi recently. I don't know how they're going to go through with it with Gen 4, and I'm also excited to see how they go through with Gen 5. So yeah, Gen 5 is going on for the rest of time. It's the end of the reward for the things that Professor Willow set for us, but I it's like the end event, but I assume it's just going to be going until whenever. I doubt they're just going to not have Gen 5 Pokemon stop spawning. And Mewtwo raids though are coming, or they are here. I need a Mewtwo raid so bad. Unfortunately, I didn't get a Kangaskhan during the Alolan egg hatching the region restricted Pokemon. I got so many Farfetch'd and so many Tauros and so many Mr. Mime. I didn't get a single gosh darn Kangaskhan. The one Pokemon that I need for my Pokedex. For my Kanto Pokedex, I need a Kangaskhan and a Mewtwo. I had my chance to get a Kangaskhan. I flubbed it. I didn't get lucky. And then I'm hoping to get Mewtwo, because Mewtwo is one of a kind. There was Mewtwo raids a long time ago, and then they brought him back for a little bit, and then he never came back, and now he's coming back, and I need my Mewtwo. I missed my chance every time, and I need this Mewtwo. Anyway, so I'm excited about the future for Pokemon Go. I really, really am. There's a lot of stuff coming. There's a lot of stuff that's here already. We got a sneak peek of a few things. I'm very excited about Generation 5. I hope you are too. And as Generation 5 gets more and more released, I will talk a little bit more about Gen 5 and some of the Pokemon that are added. But anyway, we're going to move into the last segment of today, and the last thing we're going to talk about for today, which is Move Tutor. Everybody's favorite segment, where we talk about a random move every episode. And this episode is number 47. Out of 742 moves, we got number 47, which is Sing. Sing is a non-damaging normal type move introduced in Generation 1. Sing, of course, is the iconic Jigglypuff move in the anime, in Smash. It's Sing. Everybody knows Sing. If you know Pokemon, you know Sing. Sing is the go-to, well, maybe not go-to, it's the most famous, maybe infamous, putting to sleep move, maybe outside of Hypnosis. But Sing has a PP of 15. It is an accuracy of 55%. Yikes, that is trash. Mostly why it's so bad. In the Generation 1 games, Sing can affect a target behind a substitute. And that's it. That was a glitch, if I remember correctly. Because it says in the handheld games only, so they fixed it in Pokemon Stadium, showing that it was not something that they wanted. And in Generation 2, it could hit a substitute. It no longer affected a target behind a substitute. In Generation 3 to 5, Pokemon with Insomnia, Vital Spirit, or Soundproof as their ability is unaffected by Sing. Sing can also be used as a part of a Pokemon contest combination, causing Perish Song and Refresh to have their base appeal bonus doubled if used in the next turn. That's cool. And in Generation 6 onwards, Sing can once again affect target behind a substitute. Wow, I didn't know they brought that back. Pokemon under the effect of Sweet Veil are unaffected by Sing. Sing can be used as a contest spectacular combination, causing certain moves, Dream Eater, Hex, Nightmare, and Wake Up Slap, to give extra 3 appeal points in the next turn. If powered up by Normalium Z into Z Sing, the user's speed stat is raised by 1 stage. And it says here, in the Smash Bros. Series, Sing is Jigglypuff's up special. They put all groundbound users near Jigglypuff to sleep and does not affect players in the air. The more damage the opponent has taken, the longer they sleep. So yeah. Let's see if there's any trivia about Sing. In Pokemon Yellow, there's a trainer in the Pewter City whose Jigglypuff puts the player's Pikachu to sleep after singing. Although the Pikachu's player will not follow them until it is talked to or until the player exits the Pokemon Center, Pikachu will not be inflicted with the sleep status at any point. All sound-based moves were not flagged as such until Generation 3. Sing's move index number falls near the Generation 1 sound-based moves Growl, Roar, and Supersonic, which makes sense because, soundproof. Generation 3 was the first time where sound quote-unquote sound moves actually had something that they needed to do, because soundproof and some of the other abilities that are affected by quote unquote sound, which is a vague term, but you know what I mean. So of course they had to reclassify it as a quote unquote sound move, so it wouldn't be affected by that. That was Sing, and that was episode 14. I hope you all enjoyed listening, and this has been Lillie. You can follow me on my Twitter at Lillieceon. You can follow me on Twitch, where I stream games at Twitter, twitch.tv/Lillieceon, and you can follow my YouTube, where I upload videos of those streams at youtube.com/Lillieceon. So I hope you all have a great day, and thank you all so much for listening in. See you next time. Bye.